Hi, this is Paul from Evolve Mind Body Coaching, and today I'm just making a video just to go into perception a little bit and reality and talk to you a little bit how our brain filters our reality. So people tend to think they see reality, but the truth is they don't actually see real reality because there's way too much going on out there in the real world that our limited nervous system cannot actually take in. So what we actually do take in, there's different stats on this. John Asraf is probably the latest stats that I've found. He says there's 400 billion bits of information that come into our unconscious mind every second. So imagine that, that's a lot of things, right? But what happens is our conscious mind tends to break that down to about 2,000 bits is what he says in these numbers. The NLP model talks about 2 billion bits of information getting broken down into 134 bits. So either way you look at it, it's still a lot of information that gets broken down into a small amount of information. And we take that in through our nervous system. So through our vision, our hearing, our smell, our taste, our touch. And what tends to happen, we filter through those things and we create what we call our model of the world, or our reality tunnel, depending on who you talk to, basically our version of what we think is real. This is based on what we're perceiving. So what we're perceiving is broken down through our senses, but we can't actually sense all of what's going on outside of us. Outside of us, there's this whole big electromagnetic spectrum that we know about. So this is all the things that we know are happening outside of us. These are things like the visual spectrum, so red, blue, green, yellow, orange, all the colors that we can see, pretty much the whole rainbow. That's what we can actually visually see. But outside of the visual spectrum, there's ultraviolet, infrared, there's microwaves, there's radio waves, there's all these different things that we can't actually perceive as human beings unless we use a device to tap into those things. So we can't actually see those things. So imagine a shopping center with all the different shops. That's what's going on out there. We can only perceive a small shop out of the whole amount of things that are out there. So our limited perception is already quite small compared to everything that's out there. But inside that shop, what tends to happen is our senses are perceiving an even smaller amount of that. So imagine one sort of supermarket, we can see one aisle of that supermarket. And then inside of our nervous system, we also tend to use different other filters outside of our senses. So we do things like using language to break down and make a model of the world. We use things like our memories. We use things like our beliefs, our values, our meta programs, time, space, matter, and a few other things. But basically what tends to happen is we break these down even smaller. So we've gone from seeing a whole shopping center, or not being able to see the whole shopping center, to one small shop in the shopping center, to one aisle, to now limited things inside the aisle of that shopping center. So what tends to happen is, if you can imagine, even just talking about our senses, what we think we can see, being human beings, isn't what's out there. We talked about that with the electromagnetic spectrum and what's outside of our normal vision. So a dog, they can see and hear more than us. Bees can perceive different frequencies than we can. Whales, they can hear different things than we can. So there's a lot of other examples of how people perceive outside, or different animals perceive differently than us. So their model of the world, their reality, is different than ours. So what's right, what's wrong, it's just what we're creating or we're perceiving through ourselves. So even inside the shopping center, based on what you believe or what you value, you tend to see the items that you'd be looking for. So let me give an example of that. So a mother shopping for her children, she's going to walk through that aisle and she's going to see things that relate to either getting nappies or food for the kids or something for herself. They're going to be completely different items than me when I'm going to the shops and what I'm looking for. And I might have certain beliefs and values that will indicate different things. So I might really like organic food. So I'll see an item that says organic, that'll stand out to me. But the mother might be looking to lose weight or get on a diet, so she'll see something that says diet. So that'll stand out to her. So we'll filter all these things that are happening in the world and see things that are important to us, and that'll stand out to us. And I don't know if you've ever been shopping, but you tend to know where the kind of food you're looking for are, and the things that, how many things are in the shop that you don't even know exist. There's so many items on the shelf that you don't even look at, don't even know they're there. And that's kind of what's happening out in the world around us. We're only ever looking for what's important to us, what we believe, what we value, what we've learned, what our programming is. So let me explain the language component of this. To understand reality, we've created language to help us do that and perceive reality. So for you to understand what I'm talking about, I'm using the language of English that we've created or someone's created, and I'm making sounds that fit into that model of the English language. So I use this in classes to explain how people think they understand what I'm saying and what they create inside their head, their model of the world or their internal representation of it. So the example I tend to use is the word water. If I say the word water, you tend to get a feeling or a picture in your head or some sort of experience. So for me, when I think of water, I get a bottle of water. and it's a certain kind of bottle, certain size. For some students, it's a glass of water. For other people, it's a pond. Some people, it's a river. Some people, it's a drop of water. Some people, it's a color or a feeling. So what they're experiencing based on my noise that I made or the language I said created a certain picture in their mind or a feeling, sensation, and that was their reality. But what's real? Was it the noise that I made, what they created inside themselves? And everyone that listens to this is going to get a different version of this. So it really becomes quite interesting when you think people understand the same world or see the same world or hear the same world. They're really not. Everyone that watches this video will get a different perception of what I said or what I did. So what I thought I said and what you actually heard and what you understood will be completely different. So if I got you to write a little summary of this video, it'd be completely different for every single person. So it's sometimes fun to talk to family about memories that you remember and what actually happened. What you think happened and what they think happened is two different things. But none of you actually saw the real event. So this can spin out of control and turn to all sorts of things. But basically, I just want to open your eyes up to what reality and perception are and how we distort that, delete things, and generalize it to create what we believe is true. And we see that and we project onto reality. So just remember that our perception is a reflection of our projections. So what we see is a reflection of what we project onto reality. Our beliefs, our values, our distortions, our generalizations, and our deletions. So we'll see all these things. So this is a pretty complex idea, and I've gone into a few things here, but I'm definitely going to make more videos and go into more depth of this. Hopefully you enjoyed it and I didn't really go off track too much, but yeah, I'll be making more videos. So if you like this, like it. If you think anyone else is interested, share it. If you want comments or questions, please post them. If you want me to talk about anything else, if you've got questions or want me to answer some questions, I'm more than happy to do that. So hopefully you got a good perception of this video, and be aware of what you're perceiving and know that it's not actually real. I'm going to make some videos down the track and talk about problems and how we perceive things as being problems and how it's not really that. It's just a distortion of what is really going on out there in order for us to see what we need to heal. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I haven't talked for too long. Talk to you guys soon. Keep evolving, and I'll catch you soon.